Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up that screen. Oh, Ilus International. I'm going to do an Ilus update, and we're going to talk about this inflation. Good grief. It just keeps going up. All right, so we're at 9.1% inflation. I'm not surprised. I've been telling you for 6 months now, maybe 9 months, that it's probably 12 to 15. Now, we're never going to reach that because the CPI, the CPI, little Freudian slip there, I guess.
And he's nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
Yeah, it's probably going to peak at 9.5, something like that. I don't think it's going to go much higher because I'm already seeing people aren't traveling as much as they were. I'm up here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and the traffic's not near what it should be compared to last year and compared to the Rona. So a lot of people are not traveling. They just don't have the money, okay? First of all, they're not getting the free money they got last year, and the economy's not like it was years ago. So they just don't have the money, and they can't put $100 in their tank every time they fill up. It wears you out. And then you go to the grocery store, and instead of spending $100, you spend $150, and it's just, that doesn't work for people. So they're all pulling back, and what we've got is demand destruction. Now, you know, there was two choices with this. You could either drill like crazy and get a bunch of oil, which I'm not, like I said, I really like EVs, but that was probably the choice I would have made. Or you could go with this other way of the demand destruction. And I know there's been moves to try to lower the prices with releasing oil from the strategic petroleum reserves, but that'll only do so much. That's very short term because that's included in total inventories. So all that does is a little mini kick. But now what we've got is good old-fashioned demand destruction, and that will bring prices down. That will bring your oil prices down. That'll bring gas prices down. So that'll help with the inflation, and that's basically the choice that has been made. And I know when I bring up drilling, that upsets people.
How dare you?
Yeah, and that upsets Greta, and I'll take some grief over that. I know they're going to say, oh, you're talking about politics. No, I'm not. I'm not talking about politics. I'm just talking about the reality of how to get prices down. That's it. And like I say, there's two ways of doing it. And this way will work. You know, like I say, prices are going to go down, but it's going to be painful. And we're already feeling the pain. It's going to be rough for a while. And let's understand how inflation affects micro-cap stocks. It really affects all stocks. It's really hard on every company out there, and it hurts their share price, but especially micro-caps, because understand penny stocks are really all about the future. And if you have high inflation, what that does is that devalues the future profits of a company. For example, an Ilus or any of the small companies that are micro-caps that are going to be making more money in the future, that money's worth less. So people are not willing to pay as much for that future profit. So I'm not surprised at all that Ilus is down a little bit today, plus the shorts are going crazy over this inflation number. And we're going to talk about that too when we go through the short report. But let's get into what's going on with Ilus right now. Man, I love having my original computer back running. God, it's so much easier to deal with. I can do this, and I can do that. Just anything I want is so fast. It says Ilus has completed several of its acquisitions. We know all about that. We've been covering it like crazy. It said on the 11th of February, Ilus had announced a run rate revenue of about 40 to 45 million. But of course, they added a huge company, $100 million revenue company. It says due to current progress in the agreed acquisitions, which is expected to close in the third quarter, Ilus has updated its revenue forecast to a run rate of about 140 million bucks. So that's a lot of revenue compared to what they used to be. Ilus confirmed that its second quarter results, which will be filed on the 15th of August, reflect the strong progress that the company has been making. They haven't given an estimate on that number. Recently, because they own WSFT, which is undergoing an appropriate name change to Quality Industrial Corp., which we've covered like crazy. So they've signed the binding letter of intent. We've seen pictures of it. We've seen all that. And Eigel's done a real good job of getting that information to us. And of course, they process equipment manufacturing for oil, gas, utilities, etc. And we know it's delivering in excess of $100 million. They've got $75 million worth of orders in production, along with $230 million in confirmed purchase orders. So WSFT is currently negotiating further acquisitions, which will be strategically aligned with Quality International, which will be their new name. We know they're being audited right now, and then they're going to uplist to the OTCQB. Says they're on track to complete it by, looks like the end of the summer, as originally communicated. It says after completing the the audit, Ilus files its Form 10, which will allow them to uplist the OTCQB, and says JP provided an update. When we watched that video, well, I took out the best parts of it. And then Nick said, in terms of business progress, it's been an incredible year for us so far, and we clearly expect our growth trajectory to increase in the back end of the year. So the global economy is facing immense challenges, and the markets are experiencing ongoing pressure. You can say that again. As a business, we're surging towards our largest milestones yet. We look forward to making several important announcements in Q3, probably acquisitions, delivering on both our previously stated objectives and further new ones. It says our ability to close deals such as Quality International serves as a guideline for what more can be expected, and they're trying to turn this into a multi-billion-dollar company. And as we take a look at the chart today, we can see we're down about 3%. I'm not surprised by that. I would say the shorts have taken that news about the 9.1% and probably been shorting this stock. They love to short Ilus, and you can see how strongly they've been shorting it. At one point, and I don't know that I've seen this very often, but back in early July, they reached 90% on shorting this stock, 92, 93, 94. That's incredible. They're currently sitting at, 62.41. We'll see what it is today. We won't know that till tomorrow, but they just short the crap out of this stock. And understand, if it's over 50%, that puts a ton of downward pressure on the company share price. And when those shorts hurt about 9.1% on the news, actually, here's our reaction to it. Yeah, needless to say, they were very happy about it. God, that's how they sound, how they look too. And let's take a little look-see at our market cap, still around 113 million. Outstanding shares have not changed, been updated on the 12th, which this is a problem that has been taken care of that was really pissing me off, was not seeing an updated outstanding shares. I really liked seeing it updated, and it's been updated now for going on a couple of weeks. And if that continues on, I really like that. It makes me happy. So for me, I'm just holding carefully. And like I said, if it comes down and bounces off this again, I'll probably add some. Might as well for me. Now realize I practice the 10% rule. I know some of y'all are tired of hearing this, but I practice that rule because I want to be able to sleep at night, and penny stocks and micro caps are very risky, especially in this market. So I just keep that at 10% in that neighborhood in my portfolio. Sometimes it goes a little above, a little below, but about 10% is my comfort zone. It's a good idea to understand that. If you're going to trade in the micro caps, having an understanding of your risk tolerance is very important. You may be at 5%, you may be at 15 or whatever, but it's always a good idea to have that plan ahead of time and say, okay, this is how much I'm going to risk in the OTC. And some of you are really young and you may be thinking, well, crap, I'll put 50% or whatever. You've really got to just think that through. And so you'll know, okay, this is what I'm risking. And if something bad happens and it turns like it has done, you know where you're at and what you can handle. All right, folks, and that's just an Ilus update. I wanted to try to keep it short today. I'm actually playing in a golf tournament later this afternoon, and I did want to cover Ilus because they did come up with that news, and I'll let you know how I play. Anyway, we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.